Your Norwegian surname is younger than you think, and far older than you can imagine. Younger because Norway only made surnames compulsory in 1923, barely 100 years ago. Before that, your great-grandfather was simply the son of Lars. And older because the name they wrote down for him was the name of a farm. That exact mountain, that inlet, that burial mound where his line had sat for 1,000 years, long before the word Norway existed. And one of these 10 surnames is literally the word Viking. Not connected to the Vikings, it is the word itself. If one of these 10 is yours, drop it below and subscribe to Kin and Kingdom. I take apart one bloodline every video. Let's go. Listen to one thing you have to understand about Norwegian surnames. In the rest of Europe, surnames froze back in the Middle Ages. In Norway, they didn't. Right up to the 20th century, the old system was still running. You are the son of Olav, so you are Olavsen. Your son will be Olsen. Every generation, a new surname. And those who worked the land were named after the farm. Move to another farm, change your name. The law of 1923 froze all of it. Whatever your family happened to be in that one particular year became your name forever. A mountain, a valley, a grove, a burial mound. We go from the ground up to the gods. 10. Berg, the mountain. Let's start with the simplest one. Berg means mountain, or rather rock. And the pronunciation right away, not Berg the English way, but Berry, a soft R and the G almost swallowed. How does your family say it? Write it below. This is a farm on a slope. In a country with almost no flat ground, a mountain isn't scenery. It's an address. Solberg, the sunny rock. Lindberg, the linden rock. A boy from the farm under the cliff became Berry, and 300 years later, his descendant in Minnesota is still Berg. If you're a Berry, your line held on to stone and held on hard. 9. Dahl, the valley. Dahl, or Dahl, the valley. And it's said exactly as it looks. Dahl, short. Here, at least, the Norwegians won't catch you out. But there's something hard behind that word. Norwegian valleys are narrow slits between mountains where the sun looks in for a couple of hours a day. In winter, a valley like that is cut off from the world. The people in it married each other for generations, spoke their own dialect, and knew the neighbors over the pass worse than they knew strangers off the sea. If you're a Dahl, your ancestors lived in an isolation that carved a genuinely hard character. 8. Lund, the grove. Lun, a grove, a small wood. Say it Lun with the ending in your nose, the D barely there, not Lund. And here is where it gets real. To a Scandinavian, a grove was not a park. It was a temple. Sacred groves, Lunda, were where the offerings were made. The German chronicler Adam of Bremen described the sanctuary at Uppsala in the 11th century. Every 9 years they brought in 9 males of every kind, humans included. The bodies were hung in the trees of the sacred grove. He wrote that he was told of 99 corpses there. Christian kings later cut those groves down first of all. But as it turned out, a tree is easier to fell than a faith. If you're a loon, your surname remembers a place people did not go to for a walk. 7. Strand, the shore. Strand, the shore. The strip of land at the water. Said Strand, the D at the end gets swallowed. A dull word. To a Norwegian, the shore isn't leisure, it's work, and it's the road. There were no roads in that country. Mountains and fjords made the land impassable. Everything moved by water. So a farm on the shore is a farm with a way out into the world. If you have the shore, you have a boat. And if you have a boat, you have a choice. Fish, or go and take. If you're a Strand, your ancestor lived at the place the ships left from. 6. Haugen, the burial mound. And here the name turns grim. Almost everyone says it wrong. Not Haugen. In Norwegian it's Høyen. The G disappears completely. Confess in the comments how you've been saying it. Høyen comes from Hauge, a hill, but not just any hill, a burial mound. Vikings were buried in mounds, the great ones with their ship. The Oseberg ship was found in exactly such a mound, a vessel 22 meters long, 2 women, a wagon, sledges, 13 horses. all of it packed under earth in the year 894. And here's what matters. The mound stood right on the farm's own ground, in plain sight of everyone. The ancestors didn't lie in a churchyard behind a fence, they lay next to the house. It was believed the Hogbui, the mound dweller, watched over the family, or took revenge if you disturbed him. If you're a Haugen, your family lived beside the grave of its ancestors for centuries and named itself after it. 5. Olsen, son of Olav. Now, about that Sen. Olsen, Larsen, Hansen, Nielsen, half of Norway. Olsen means son of Olav, and it said Ulsen through an OO, not Olsen. The name Olav itself is ancient and pre-Christian. Alefer, heir of the ancestors. Kings carried it, and one of them turned the country upside down. Olav Haraldsson, king from 1015, Christianized Norway, very hard, with fire and sword. His own subjects rose against him and killed him at the Battle of Stiklestad in 1030, and a year after his death, they declared him a saint. The same people who cut him down began praying to him as Saint Olav, the eternal king of Norway. If you're an Olsen, you carry the name of the man who broke the old faith and died for it. 4. Eriksen, son of Erik. Eriksen, son of Erik. Simple enough, Eirikar means sole ruler. And there was one Erik who earned that name quite literally. Erik the Red was exiled from Norway for killing a man. He went to Iceland. He killed there too, and was exiled from Iceland as well for 3 years, and so he had to do what nobody else had done. Sail west into nothing. There he found an enormous island of ice, and he named it Greenland, the Green Land. Pure advertising, he knew people would only follow him to a beautiful name. And they followed. And his son Leif went further than his father. Around the year 1000, Leif Eriksen landed in a place he called Vinland. That is Newfoundland, North America, 500 years before Columbus. The dig at Lons O Meadows confirmed it, a Norse settlement right there. If you're an Eriksen, somewhere in your line is the name of a man whose family was exiled twice and whose son found America. 3. Thorsen, son of Thor. Thorsen, son of Thor. And here's the trap everybody falls into. An Aras in Norwegian is read as Shesh, not Thorsen, but Tushen. Try it in the comments. Thor, the god of thunder, the hammer Mjolnir, the red beard, the chariot pulled by goats, the most popular god of the north. The nobility prayed to Odin, everybody else prayed to Thor. And here's the astonishing part. When Christianity came, the names of the gods should have vanished. Odin's did. Almost nobody was named after him, but Thor stayed. Thorstein, Torbjörn, Tushen, thousands of Norwegians still carry the name of a pagan god, and nobody sees any contradiction in it. People were baptized, and then named their son after the one who held the hammer. If you're a Tushen, your surname outlived a change of religion and never gave in. It's still here. 2. Ulvestad, the wolf farm. Olvi, the wolf. Ulvestad, the wolf's farmstead. Say Ulv. The V at the end is soft, almost a W. To a Scandinavian, the wolf is not just an animal. It is Fenrir, the monster fated to devour Odin at Ragnarok. It is the companion of death on a battlefield, and it is warriors. The Ulfhednar, the wolfcoats, brothers to the berserkers. They went into battle in wolfskins, without armor, in a fury the chroniclers described as possession. It was said iron would not bite them, that before a fight they howled like actual wolves. Parents who named a son Oolv knew exactly what they were doing. It was a wish. If you're an Ulvestad, your line lived on ground named after the animal everyone feared. 1. Vik, the bay, and the summit, the shortest surname on the list and the loudest. Vik, said cleanly and short. Vik in Old Norse means a bay, an inlet, a narrow way in from the sea. And now the important part, the leading theory for where the word Viking comes from, Vikinga, is exactly this. From Vik, the man of the bay, the one who comes out of the inlet, or the one who waits in the inlet watching for ships. There are other theories, Scholars still argue. But this is the most widely held one, and if it's right, then the surname Vik isn't connected to the Vikings. It is the word itself. The bays were everything. The ships lay there, they sheltered there from storms, they rode out from there on the raid and came back there with the plunder. The whole age grew out of those inlets. If you're a Vik, you carry the root of the word that frightened half of Europe for 1,000 years. Close. The age ended, the mounds grew over, the groves were cut down, the ships rotted, and the surnames boarded steamers. Between 1825 and 1925, 800,000 people left Norway, almost a third of the population. Only Ireland gave up a bigger share: Minnesota, Dakota, Wisconsin. Out there the names broke. Haugen became Haugen, Olsen became Olsen, Björn lost its Ö. But the farm, the mountain and the bay stayed inside the word. So Key, which of the 10 is yours? Put it below and tell me how your family says it. The names that come up most, I take apart in the next video. Subscribe to Kin and Kingdom and leave a like if you learned something new about your own blood. See you in the next one, and if your name wasn't here,